Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here to share with you my 2016 December daily. I did not realize that this hadn't actually been shared or finished until recently, and so I'm excited to share it with you. It's one of the years that it wasn't quite as thick. This is the year I realized that the lovely albums from Simple Stories just weren't thick enough. I needed to move to the big 2-inch D-ring from Allie Edwards, but this is kind of the last year that I kept it in the smaller size. I was pregnant this year with my second child, so this mostly documents, and she wasn't born until March the following year, so this just documents us as a family of 3. And it was the first year I think I kind of got into like with the 2x2 squares and all of that fun stuff. So that is what this is going to be all about. Here's my opening page here. The G for our last name, my son in the dryer, a selfie of my son and myself, and then a photo of Sean and so my partner and Jackson there. And then I got good tidings, and like I said, I embellished all the little ones here. And right away I started doing things outside of the pockets and inside of the pockets. I really like that, the combination of both of them there. Left this side blank. If I was doing it now this year, I probably would fill these, but I didn't back then. A photo of me with some coffee and our Christmas blanket and our little Charlie Brown Christmas tree we used to have. So I love that. Nothing on the back side. And then another photo. This is of a wreath I used to have. It kind of got a little too old, so I don't own it anymore, but it was really, really pretty. I got a nice close-up shot of it, and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And then it goes into day 1. So I use this app every year, and it's from Photo Lab is the app, and it makes your photos look painted, and I absolutely love it. I do only around Christmas time. I use it for at least 1 or 2 photos of the tree, something. It doesn't work really well if you're actually doing an actual face, but a profile view like this works pretty well. So, and then it says trimming the tree, and I did some stitching with, on the glassine bag. I remember this being extremely difficult, but that's okay. I did get it done. Then I added some puffy sticker trees as well, along with my number 1 and what we were doing, and then a tag. I really loved this pattern paper, so I left it alone. But it also is talking about the day, and this particular day, I actually remember we were going in, and my son was in the process of being assessed to see if he was going to be diagnosed with autism. He's been since then has been diagnosed, but this is kind of the start of it all, and we found out the fall, so October, November-ish, that there was a possibility, and so we got into the process, and this is one of our very first meetings with the doctor. So it talks about that, and it's something I wanted in my December daily because I felt it's a very big part of our life, so it's important to document it. But I didn't want it to overtake anything, so that's why I left it in the bag. And yet, you kind of, if you just look at it and you were just casually viewing, you wouldn't know to look through that and read all of that. So I do enjoy that. I got crafty on the second, so again, the back side of the bag to go ahead and use it, so I was covering it up. I do think that there is, oh, you know what? I lied. I taped 2 bags together because there's a separate tag in here. Okay, so I taped 2 glassine bags together and added another tag. So again, just pretty, so when you pull it out, like you can see it. And then the journaling about what happened that day. And I put it on I taped the bottom of it so that you could pull this one out, but then this particular one is stuck to the tag. So this is the only one that comes out, and then there's an additional photo of us watching a TV show or something that evening. So there's that for day 2. It's been so long since I've actually gone through this, I kind of forget a few bits, so sorry about that. So day 3, I put my 3 right there with a little tab there. It was my holiday party for my work. I had fun with this. I made this little banner And I didn't glue it all down, so it kind of folds in and out, and I really like that. There's the photo of us together, one of my coworkers and I, and then it opens up and 2 more photos. They weren't great quality photos, but that's okay. And then my journaling for that day as well. And again, 3 just to emphasize what day that was for. For the 4th, I just did my favorite Christmas song of the year, which was Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And this random shot I got of the Christmas tree, and I think I moved, and I don't actually think I was meaning to take a photo, and it took this really cool thing. So I just used it to document my favorite Christmas song for that year. I find with only 1 kid, there was a lot more filler days than there are now. Here was our first snowfall. We don't always get snow in December, so it was nice to get it early, the 5th. That's very early for snow for us in the lower mainland, but it snowed that day. And then this is also the 5th, just kind of documenting how much I love Purdy's and all of that. So there's that one. And apparently I made this really long. So there's also this baby, It's Cold Outside. I think I was just playing along, having some fun. And then there's my journaling about the snow and it being cold, and that they were calling for more snow, so we would see what would happen. That one. There's the 6th. The 6th is simple, just my son. He loved to do this. Cover himself with all of the pillows. He liked to be in forts, and it's something to do if you are unaware, but normally people with autism, they really like to have things tight to their bodies, so a weighted blanket and stuff, that's very comforting to them, and my son is like that as well. So all of these cushions and stuff, having them on top of him, it was a comfort for him, which we realize now. Back then we just thought he was being silly and cute. Day 7 talks more about how cold it was, and it was very cold, so just kind of all of the different little bits, shaker pockets going in there and little bits and pieces. I was part of Spiegel Mom Scraps back then, and I was also doing my very first round of 12 Days of Christmas with Daisy back then as well. And then I did 7 things on December 7th, so I just wrote 7 different things, and it was really cold, so I talked about that. Day 8, I made this fun little 8. I just hand cut it, and I really loved how that turned out. Put a little wood veneer on there. And then the back is just more pattern paper. With this fun little selfie, I do try to get a selfie of myself in my albums every year. I think that's very important to get yourself in there. I don't mind a selfie, I can take them. I'm only 33, so it's right along my generation there. And this was a wreath at my work, so you can actually see my work in the background. I work in a dental office, and so I love how that turned out. And I'm assuming I probably was working that day, so not a whole lot going on, and that worked well. It was still, I think there was still some snow going on, so we went for a walk. I love this photo. So there's my partner and Sean holding Jackson. And then a decoration for in a glossing bag. I love to use glossing bags. I find them perfect for December daily. And the fact that there's more snow, and so there they are out in there. He had a red jacket that year, so the red theme, I tried to play off of that. And then there's just some more, just a filler, just so that there was something on the back as well. Don't think I did any journaling for this one, or did I? Nope, I did no journaling for day 9. So that's probably when I do really well at the beginning of the month, and it kind of trails off. So the 9th is, I'm assuming, when it started to trail off. The 10th, so first I always document coffee in some form. I do tend to drink Tim Hortons more than Starbucks, so you know, give or take. This year's for 2020, I've also documented Starbucks, Tim Hortons. So that was this year's one, and I liked that little thing. So I just cut a little bit of it to put on there, and then the photo. And then day 10, some more snow. I kind of remember this winter now. There was a lot of snow. So that was 10. 11 is some of my son's artwork that he did from his daycare. So there's his little handprint. Oh, it's so tiny. It's not like that anymore at all. And this cute little reindeer that he made. And yes, you can see there's a finger missing. So this has fallen, you know, because it's outside of the album. But you know what? It's all good. None of it matters. It's in there and it's cute. And even if I have to fold these up or something eventually, it's totally fine. Super cute. And I think this finishes up 11. So it's just about my son, really, right? So they spelled his name wrong on here, which I find funny. But so he used to love to do this. He had a little toddler bed and a tablet that he would use. I think it was my Kindle Fire back then. And he would just sit and watch a cartoon and have his milk and his breakfast and be as happy as could be in the mornings. He was such an easy, 2 years old in the morning. He was so easy. And I love that. And even now, he'll be 7 in January. I still find the morning time before he starts to get, riled up a little bit with his siblings, he will sit in the morning and just relax. And I love that because my youngest does not do that. Here are my son's ornaments up to then. So 2016, he would have been turning 3. So this was his very first ornament for his first Christmas. That was his second ornament when he was 1, turning 2. And this is the one that we got him for that year in 2016. And my husband picked that out. He's really loves Star Wars, so he picked Darth Vader, and I think that's really cute. So there's that one. And then I did do a little bit of decorating, nothing crazy, but a little decorating on the back, kind of to go in with the fact that there is the Santa photo for that year. This is a nice one because I think the year before that I was in the photo. He would not sit with Santa, so he's not necessarily happy, but he's at least sitting with him, so we call that a win. And then just another little close-up of our Christmas tree taken in a certain angle. We had a tiny little Christmas tree when we lived in, we were living in a basement suite. It's my Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I loved it. But I had to be to take really good shots, I had to be very careful with my angles there. For Halloween, we get our ornaments most of the time, at least we used to, at Hallmark. And that particular year, there was this gorgeous bag that they gave them in. So I just watercolored the bag a little bit and kind of followed what was there. And I just filled it in with a little red and green. And I love that as like a little divider there before you moved on. Because there's a lot going on in this little section. So this was almost like a nice little resting place for your eye. And then I also had a larger photo to base it on. So instead of just having the photo, there was some rest. And I really liked that. So here was day 14. And this talks about our Charlie Brown Christmas tree, like I just mentioned. I love that little thing. Very fond memories of it. So that's great. Obviously another day at work. It wasn't very exciting, I can tell. That was our elf on the shelf, and we were being a little silly, and we tied Santa up, and Santa was being dragged by the reindeer and the elf. And we didn't actually leave that there for kids to see. This was kind of later. I worked evenings. So this was a Wednesday or a Thursday night, this particular night, and we were just being silly. We hid him and did the correct thing with it later, but we took that photo and sent it to our office manager, and she just laughed at us. So I love that. And then day 16, this is my son. He loves blankets, like I talked about. And it just talks about how we are a family that really loves blankets. And that's just kind of what it talks about. And then my son had made this little stocking as well. So I just used it. Like I said, I really love to add in the artwork that he and now my daughter create. So I have that there. And then this is where I had stopped, and I didn't realize that I hadn't finished it. So this is everything that I had done back in 2016. And the rest of it is, with the exception of one little spread in here, is stuff that I did to finish it off. So there's no journaling. It's all, you can tell that I put it together quickly. Here is day 17. I chopped my hair off. I did make a little slide there to talk about how I can handle my hair being chopped off, and went ahead and cut it. So that is day 17. I needed something to kind of divide the gap between the 17th and the 18th. The 18th is something that had been there. So I had also this cute little candy cane that I made with his little thumbprint. So I just put in another glossing bag, and it fits there. It's quite thick and heavy, so I needed something that would hold it, and I feel like that works well. And then day 18 is something I think I did for one of the 12 days of Christmas, because it's pretty cool. So you can tell that it says 18 a little bit. I put it there so you could really tell. But it starts off with me just cuddled up and being pregnant and just kind of showing that. And then I did this cute little string of cookies, and that I was baking cookies. So that's kind of what that one talks about. And I like that. I think it's really cute. So I probably was working with that 8 from the beginning, and I liked it so much I made another one for the 18. And then I just put a little something on the back of it and turned 19 into being about making our gingerbread house. And then if you ever looked into our albums, you would know that this made it like that. We set it down and the whole thing collapsed. So we didn't actually put it together very well because it was really pretty when we built it, but like within 5 minutes of this photo, the whole thing just caved in on itself. So pretty funny, but I got a cute photo of them with the gingerbread house. So it's all good. And then we went on a date. So I went ahead and did a nice large photo again. And this one was nice because it's just lights in a black sky. So it was really easy to just put some pretty large numbers there and a little fave Christmas outing. And then this is something I created for a little hop that we were working with. And I just wanted to have something. So I was gonna put a number here, but because I put it here, I let it be. You can kind of tell that they're together. And then this flips open. There's another photo, and then it talks about that we got to go on a date and how we try to go do something Christmas themed date in December every year. So there's that one. And then I left it blank because I've left it blank in other parts, and I just wanted to keep the consistency, even though I created this in 2020. And then you guys, this is funny. So here's 21, just me pregnant. Here's 22, me at the doctor. There's nothing about it. I didn't put doctor, I didn't do anything, just a photo of my foot. I know what it's about. I need to go back in and say doctor appointment. I should really do that, but I didn't. 23 is a card I made for Daisy and Jen, who's Kay's mom. They do a Christmas card series every year, and I created one. I try to do one a year with them, and this is the one I created. There's absolutely no journaling about that, but it's there. This is another bag that I just thought was really pretty, so I turned that into 24, which is Christmas Eve. And yep, that's Christmas Eve. I didn't document it. I didn't anything. There's just a random strip of photos. And then 25, I have this, another one. You can tell I made a few of my numbers. I wanted to do something kind of cool. I'm noticing I need to be careful because this 2 is about to fall off. So I have to be careful with that, but there's my 25 with the photo of us on Christmas morning. And that's the end of it. So you can totally tell that you would either think that I rushed, I was done, and I just rushed through it at the end of 2016, or you can tell that I've been doing it now because I forgot to finish it. So that's okay. I'm so happy that it's done. And really, I document Christmas in my 12 by 12 layouts as well. So most of that is already documented. And between the two, my December daily and my 12 by 12 layouts, Christmas gets told just fine. I actually enjoy the beginning of the month more than the end of the month because, like I said, I do document it in other ways. So I'm very, very happy to have 2016 done. I was so shocked that I hadn't had it done yet. I'm very excited to be able to share it with you. I love to share a December daily. This is by far my favorite project of the year. I just love it. I think I like working in a different size and telling all these stories. And Christmas is just so magical anyways. It just helps keep that magic alive a little bit longer and being able to reflect on it. So you can tell that the very first couple pages are bending because it did become thick. Part of that was that big candy cane decor piece that's in there. If I took that out, it might help a little bit. But yes, I would not be able to put anything else in there. This is compact and it works well because I knew going into 2017 having a baby being her first Christmas that I was going to need something else, and that's why I switched to doing the 6x8 albums from Ali Edwards and the actual December Daily brand itself. All right, thanks so much for coming on this journey with me through my December Daily 2016. And I am still working on 2018, 2017, 2015, 14, and 13. and I believe 2019. They all have shares already. So I will try to leave all the links for those below if you haven't seen them before, it's your first time to my channel, and I'll leave those linked below. Some of them aren't the best quality. I filmed them a few years ago, so I might try and recap them again. We will see what happens, but thanks so much for watching. I hope everyone has a fabulous holiday season, and I'm so excited to jump in with 2020 and get started with that one as well. Bye everyone.